A lot of men give up far too quickly, thinking the relationship is already over before it's truly even had a chance. When she starts pulling away or acting distant, it's easy to feel like the end is near. But what if this moment is actually your greatest opportunity to turn things around? Instead of walking away feeling defeated, you could use this situation to your advantage without begging, chasing, or compromising your self-respect. Most men never learn this, and that's where they go wrong, acting too quickly, driven by emotion and desperation, which only makes things worse. Before you make any decisions, watch this video. What I'm about to share could help you reach a level of understanding that most guys never get to. Let's get started. 1. Understanding why she's pulling away. When a woman starts pulling away, many men immediately panic, thinking she's lost interest or found someone else. But the truth is much more layered. It doesn't happen overnight. It's a gradual shift. Initially, there was that spark, the mystery, the excitement, the chase. But once she knows how you feel, the thrill begins to fade, and things become predictable. At this point, she starts testing your emotional stability. She wants to see how you respond when things shift. Do you freak out, overreact, or stay calm and composed? What she really needs is some space to reignite those feelings. Attraction is built on emotional distance, not constant proximity. When things are always easy and within reach, they lose their appeal. And this is where most men mess up. Instead of giving her the space she needs, they push harder. They text more, call more, try even harder. But that only kills attraction. When she doesn't have to work to earn your attention, it becomes less valuable to her. The silent test you might have missed. Here's a critical thing most men overlook. When a woman pulls away, it's often a silent test of your emotional strength. She doesn't always plan it this way, but her instincts are at work, assessing you. She's wondering, can he handle this? Will he chase me, or will he remain steady? Does he have the confidence to hold his ground, or is he just pretending to have options? And here's the kicker. Most men fail this test without even realizing it. She starts ignoring texts, and they text more. She takes longer to reply, and they begin to worry, asking if everything's okay. She cancels plans, and they scramble to reschedule immediately. Every time they react this way, they signal that they're losing control. But the men who succeed in this unspoken test don't react emotionally. They don't chase or beg for answers. They simply stay calm, hold their position, and that's when something unexpected starts to happen. She feels a sense of regret and starts questioning her own actions. The power of strategic distance. Here's the truth most men miss. Women don't fall for constant attention or material gifts. They fall for the absence of it. The less you give away without thinking, the more she starts to value what you do offer. Think about it. When something is always in reach, it's easy to take it for granted. But when it's gone, that's when the craving kicks in. This is why pulling back at the right moment can be your most powerful move. Instead of always texting first, hold off. Instead of liking every post, let them be. Instead of bending your schedule to fit hers, start prioritizing your own needs. When you stop being predictable, stop being always accessible, and stop reacting to everything immediately, the dynamic shifts. She'll start to notice your absence and, more importantly, begin wondering, why isn't he chasing me? Did he lose interest? Is he seeing someone else? When you stop giving away your attention so freely, that's when she begins to miss you, and that's when everything changes. 4. What to do instead of chasing. A lot of men make the mistake of trying to fix the situation by over-explaining or expressing how much they care, hoping it'll bring her back. But that's not how attraction works. Instead of chasing her with words, here's what you should do. Match her energy. If she's pulling away, don't chase harder. Instead, take a step back and stay neutral. If she reaches out, respond, but don't pour all your energy into the conversation. Keep it light, keep it balanced. By mirroring her energy, you're not just protecting your own self-respect, you're creating space for her to realize what's missing. It's not about winning her over with words. It's about showing that you're emotionally steady and in control of the situation. 5. How to handle it. One of the biggest mistakes men make is welcoming her back too easily when she pops back into the picture. She disappears for a week, sends a simple, "Hey," and what do most men do? They jump at the chance to respond. That's a huge mistake. Here's how you should handle it. Stay calm and collected. Don't treat her message like it's the highlight of your day. Let her put in some effort. If she's been gone for a while, she needs to prove she's genuinely interested in reconnecting. You take control of the situation by setting the pace. Don't fall back into old habits. Let her feel the space between you before you shower her with attention again. By doing this, you'll earn her respect, because now she knows she can't just come and go as she pleases. 6. If she never comes back, read this. Here's a hard truth you need to face. Not every woman will come back, and that's perfectly okay. If she pulls away and never returns, it's actually a blessing in disguise. She's doing you a favor by saving you from spending more time on someone who isn't the right fit. You don't want a woman who sticks around only because you're chasing her. What you really want is someone who chooses to stay because she genuinely values you for who you are. If she walks away, let her go, because the right woman will stay without you having to prove yourself constantly. The power of silence. Here's a game changer that most men will never truly grasp. Silence is one of the most powerful responses you can give. When she starts pulling away, most guys feel they need to explain themselves, argue, or fight for her attention. But the reality is, silence speaks volumes. It creates an air of mystery, uncertainty, and shifts the emotional balance. At first, she may not even notice. She'll likely assume you'll come back, send a message, or try to fix things. But as days turn into weeks, something changes. She starts realizing you're not chasing anymore. You're no longer the guy who's always there to check in or patch things up. Instead, you've gone silent, and that creates a space she didn't expect. This absence forces her to reflect on her feelings, and that's when the power starts to shift in your favor. 8. Why women underestimate you until you go silent. Many women assume that no matter what they do, no matter how much distance they put between you, you'll always be there waiting. After all, that's the pattern they've seen from most men. They chase, they try to fix things, they can't handle a little emotional space. But when you break that mold and choose silence instead of chasing, it throws her expectations out of whack. She starts wondering, why isn't he reacting? Why hasn't he reached out? Is he actually moving on? Those questions hit her deeper than you might think, and they trigger a flood of emotions she wasn't prepared for. She begins to ask herself, did I misjudge him? That simple question shifts the dynamic in a way most women aren't ready for, making her see you in a completely new light. 9. The moment. She starts to feel your absence. This is the moment most men never experience because they give up too soon. At first, she might feel fine, maybe even a bit relieved. She assumes you'll reach out eventually, that things will go back to normal. But then silence. No texts, no calls, no interactions on social media, absolutely nothing. Days turn into weeks, and she starts checking her phone more than usual, hoping for something from you. But still, nothing. And that's when it hits her. For the first time, she's the one feeling uncertain. She's the one questioning her choices. Because now you're no longer chasing, and that shift in energy makes her reconsider everything. Suddenly the emotional power has flipped, and she begins to wonder, Did she make a mistake? The unspoken rule of attraction. Here's a truth most men overlook. A woman values you based on how difficult you are to replace. When you were always there, always easy to reach, she never had to consider the idea of losing you. But now, with your absence, something shifts. That space you've created starts to make her uneasy. She begins to wonder, can I really replace him? That uncertainty sparks something deep within her, making her appreciate your presence more than she did when you were always around. The more elusive you become, the more valuable you become in her eyes. 11. Why she suddenly starts watching you again. Once the silence takes hold, she does what most women do. She starts watching. She checks your online activity, scrolls through old messages, and may even like a post just to see if you'll react. But why? Because deep down, she's trying to figure out one thing. Did I actually lose him? That question lingers in her mind, keeping her focused on you. The moment she realizes she might have lost someone who was once fully invested in her, it stirs emotions she wasn't prepared for. It makes her reevaluate everything, and that's when the weight of your absence really hits her. She's no longer the one in control, and that shift forces her to reconsider what she's losing. 12. The subtle signs. She's testing the waters. This is where most men slip up. The moment she throws out a subtle test, they take the bait without thinking. Maybe she sends a casual, "Hey," or reacts to one of your posts, or even texts you about something that seems trivial. But here's the thing. It's not trivial. It's her way of saying, "Are you still there?" And if you respond too quickly, too eagerly, you've just confirmed that she still has your attention whenever she wants it. In that moment, the dynamic resets. She knows she can pull you back in any time, and that's when her interest starts to fade once again. If you want to play this right, don't jump at the chance to respond. Let her wonder if you'll still be there, and keep the power in your hands. 13. How to handle the moment. She reaches out. When she finally reaches out after your silence, most men see it as a victory and think, "She came back. Now I can act like things are normal again." But that's a mistake. This is the pivotal moment, and how you respond now sets the tone for everything that follows. You have two options. You can fall right back into old patterns, giving her control, or you can stay composed and make her work for your attention. The second choice is the one that keeps her intrigued, because now you're not the same guy she knew before. You've become a challenge, and women love a challenge. By keeping your composure and not jumping in too easily, you'll keep her invested in the dynamic, making her value your attention more than ever. 14. The ultimate mindset shift. Here's the crucial mindset you need to adopt. Never be the man who's always available, always chasing after her. Instead, shift your focus to your own life, goals, and priorities. When you give her space and allow her to miss you, you elevate your value in her eyes. You become someone she has to work for, and that's the secret to lasting attraction. The real way to win a woman over is by becoming the man who doesn't have to chase. You don't win by chasing. You win by becoming the kind of man who doesn't need to. By having strong standards, valuing your time and making her earn your attention, you put yourself in a position of power. That's when everything changes. Now you're in control, not by playing games or manipulating, but by commanding respect through your self-worth. And that's the difference between the men who get overlooked and the ones women can't forget. When your silence becomes unbearable for her, there comes a point where your silence goes beyond just being noticed. It starts to be felt. At first, she brushed it off, assuming you'd eventually reach out. Maybe she thought you'd give in, send a text, or try to reconnect. But now, something shifts. Your absence is no longer a minor inconvenience. It's affecting her emotionally. She starts checking her phone, hoping to see your name, revisiting old messages, wondering if she missed a sign that you were starting to slip away. With each passing day, the questions multiply. Did I push him too far? Was I wrong about him? Is he really gone for good? The secret. Most men never understand. This isn't just about her missing you. It's about power. She's starting to realize that she doesn't have the control she thought she did, and that realization messes with her head. When someone can't have what they want, they often search for it elsewhere. And when she notices you're not reaching out, she might try to fill the void in her life, maybe by texting old flings, seeking attention from new guys, or posting things online, hoping to trigger a reaction from you. But here's the catch. None of it feels the same. The second she starts comparing others to you, she loses. No matter who she talks to, you're still on her mind. You've turned into a mystery, a question mark in her head that she can't quite answer. And the more she tries to move on, the more she realizes she's only making it worse for herself. Why her ego won't let her admit she misses you. When it comes to missing someone, women have two sides. There's the emotional side, where she feels the loss, the longing, the regret. And then there's the ego, which refuses to admit defeat. Her ego won't let her fully own up to her feelings. Instead of reaching out with vulnerability, she plays games. Maybe she'll send a casual text like, "Hey, hope you're doing well," just to see if you'll bite and reopen the conversation. Or she'll post about how amazing life is, how she's moved on, just to check if you're still watching. But deep down, she's hoping you'll give her a sign that she still has your attention. When you don't react, that's when the real struggle begins. Now she's left wondering, are you truly over her? Or have you just mastered something most men can't, detached, calm, and in control? Detachment. The game changer. Detachment is the secret weapon that shifts everything. When she finally realizes you were the prize all along, that's when her ego gets shattered. She starts to see that you weren't just another guy she could keep on standby, waiting for her approval. You weren't someone who would be at her beck and call, no matter what. And the harsh reality for her. She realizes this far too late. By now, you've evolved, you've grown, you've become the kind of man who doesn't need her validation anymore. And in that moment, she understands what you've known all along. The real power wasn't in her approval, but in your ability to walk away. Now, she's the one left questioning whether she'll ever get another chance, while you're the one in control. What to do when she comes back? Here's where most men go wrong. When she finally reaches out, they drop everything and rush to respond, acting too eager, too available. They give her exactly what she wanted all along, validation. But once she gets that, she'll pull away again. That's why you can't fall into this trap. If she comes back, stay grounded. Don't react as if her message is the highlight of your day. Don't make her the center of your world just because she's showing interest again. Don't fall into the same old patterns that made her take you for granted. Instead, let her work for your attention. If she truly values you, she'll prove it, not through words, but through actions. And if she doesn't, then you've already won, because you've come to realize that you never needed her in the first place. Don't chase, level up. If she let you down, don't beg, don't chase, level up. Focus on your growth, keep progressing, and let your silence do the talking. When you stop chasing and start leveling up, that's when the real change happens. If you found value in this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and check out the next one on the screen. It's exactly what you need to hear next.